Hello everyone. So this is my first recording with the new computer and a new microphone in the church setting. I wanted to try it out, see how it goes, and this gives me another opportunity to say hello and check in. It seems to me at these times time is stretched out for us. What seems like one day seems like a week worth of information. Can't believe what happened 3-4 days ago. It's old news and we're on to the new news. The news cycle is so much information coming at us about so many things, about who's doing what and who's not doing what. Things to get angry about, things then you get more information and you're not so angry. It just goes on and on and on. So here we are. It's a Saturday before the beginning of Holy Week. And it seems to me through this crisis, as we've been approaching it, it's been getting more and more intense. It's a little bit like walking through Holy Week, what we've been doing for the last 2 months. The beginning of all this, beginning of February, January, we heard the news out there, and we might have started responding a little bit. But the matter of fact is that many of us, it was way over in China, a long ways away, and so may have not had a lot of response, doing a lot of preparation. Just like the beginning of Holy Week, Jesus comes into the city on Palm Sunday, or the first day of the week, and it's all good, no worries. The disciples, in fact, think that it's all good and they're not doing any preparation. But as the weeks goes by, there's conflict, there's struggles and conflict between the disciples, I'm sure. There's conflict between Jesus and the authorities. It's in the middle of a very busy week at a busy time as the festival of Passover is being prepared for in the big city of Jerusalem, the big city at the time. And they are approaching that day, Good Friday, the Maundy, Thursday, Good Friday, or what we call those days, the evening before the beginning of the Sabbath. And Jesus is going to be arrested. And that's the time, like where we're in now, where we're in crisis and worry. What's going to happen? The trial is unfolding before us. Our trial is a trial of the dealing with the virus that's sweeping through our country. And yes, I know the numbers are not that outrageous. It's at this moment around 12,000 for all of Canada. At this moment, Saturday, I think the number for BC was significantly less than yesterday. Our beloved Dr. Bonnie Henry told us the numbers. And they're going down, the numbers per day. So are we at the time of trying to pretend it's not happening? Are we at a time of denial, like Peter denied before the death, before the destruction? There is going to be trials and tribulations coming up as a result of this, with all sorts of consequences of in our economy, in our lives, in our personal lives, in the life of the church, all sorts of consequences. But here's the thing I'm holding out for. Here's the hope I'm holding out for, that this changes our culture, that we reinforce and renew our sense of responsibility and care for one another, that we hear again the call by our loving God to care for others, to protect and take care of others, to nurture well-being in our whole community, not just in our own lives, but everyone's life and the whole community. Now is the time to say, the world's changed, and part of our resurrection coming out of this COVID-19 coronavirus disease crisis is that we'll take care of those who are homeless. We'll start building housing again for social housing for those who can't afford it. We'll make the very wealthy pay a fair share of the taxes. We'll push back on giving billions to industries that are no longer sustainable. I mean, I know this sounds like I'm talking about socialism, but it's a fair, equitable sharing of the resources of God's creation so that all people can be cared for. As I was writing an email to a parishioner just last week, I think it was last week, time's gone so fast, the world, the earth, creation is able to feed and take care of all the people, all human beings. There's enough. It's just a distribution issue. It's just an issue of who gets paid for what food and where it goes. We can grow enough food. But there's those who want to have the gains from the resources that are used, whatever those resources are, and want to hoard it, pull it in from themselves. And there are those who want to deny some people or some groups some of the resources because by doing so they can control. This has to change around the whole world. The violence has to end. We have to care for one another. We have to take responsibility for each other in our culture, in our society, in the whole world, nation to nation, person to person, church to church, everyone taking care. That's the new day coming. That's God's Jubilee. Will this, coming through this virus together, coming out of it in Canada and the whole world, will we be able to bring about God's Jubilee? So there'll be peace, so that the people will be fed, so that there'll be a fairness in trade. Will we let the world's compassionate people make the judgments that need to be done? We're doing that now, in the midst of this crisis here in this community and in Canada. We are doing that now. It's compassion that is ruling the day, making the decisions. Not greed, not gain, not want, not desire, but compassion. And we need to carry that on past this day, past the Easter resurrection day of this coronavirus death, past that into a new day, a new hope. That's what I want. That's what I hope for. Bye for now. Amen.